Hello, and welcome to another installment of the Virtual Public Workshop series for the Barnstable Municipal Airport Master Plan. My name is Rick Lucas, the project manager for the Master Plan, and today we'll be talking about the facility requirements, which are the needs of the airport in the future. This section will focus on the terminal, landside, and general aviation aspects. We encourage you to watch other videos in this series which provide greater context of the Master Plan. In addition, we encourage you to watch those videos prior to this one as they build and will help explain some of the things we'll discuss today. Also, we encourage you to visit the project website, which includes PowerPoint presentations, draft chapters, acronyms, contact information, and the project schedule and updates. Let's begin with the passenger terminal area requirements. For the passenger terminal ramp, or apron, this is the area where the commercial aircraft that operate at the airport park. The existing provision for the sterile apron, meaning the secure apron, allows for one Embraer E190, similar to the JetBlue operation, to power in and power out. Based on the forecast, as discussed in the previous video, we recommend there be parking positions for two aircraft. These would likely be slightly larger, as the Airbus 220 or 320 are the critical aircraft for the future. We don't foresee any changes to the non-sterile apron, meaning the inter-island flights. The apron out back there for Cape Air and Southern Air Express is sufficient. With regards to the passenger terminal building itself, we looked at two different activity levels in comparison to the existing conditions. The first being 150 peak hour passengers, and the second being 200 peak hour passengers. There are various combinations of service that would achieve these levels, each of which are consistent with the forecast scenarios we previously discussed. The result of this analysis is a detailed calculation of various square footage by functional area. As activity increases, the deficient areas become increasingly obvious. Our recommendation for priorities includes expanded baggage claim area, an expanded secure hold room, an expanded security checkpoint, an improved outbound baggage screening area. Overall, depending on the configuration, this could result between 5,000 and 25,000 additional square feet to the terminal building. Here is a visual depiction of the priority areas, including the baggage claim on the left, the outbound baggage screening, and the secure and sterile processing areas for the passengers. Now let's take a look at the landside requirements. Airport access was previously identified as one of the key issues. What's unique about this airport is that there's no dedicated access road to the airport, and there are a variety of ways to get there, and there are numerous decision points. Because much of this is off airport property, we are limited in terms of the recommendations that we can make. Potential recommendations include improving wayfinding and signage. This could potentially involve branding associated with the airport. And if we can simplify routes and ways of access, that would also help. There are no recommendations for the on-airport roadway itself, nor the parking lots. Those are deemed to be sufficient. Now let's move on to the general aviation and support facility requirements. Let's begin with the hangar requirements, which is a direct function of the forecast of based aircraft discussed in the previous video. Overall, we want to plan for not only the based aircraft forecast, but other hangar demand that could result of additional business opportunities, such as a new maintenance operation, a paint shop, a corporate flight department, or any other economic development-driven requirements for hangars or additional facilities. Based on these forecast growth provisions and additional planning for the future, we recommend an additional 6 individual units and up to 8 conventional hangars total. Many of the transient aircraft that visit the airport, however, don't use hangars, but instead park on the aircraft ramp. This ramp space can be a premium during the busy summer weekends when aircraft are parked all weekend long. There are currently 3 different parking areas for aircraft to utilize during these busy times, and overall the recommendation based on anticipated growth is between 40,000 and 60,000 additional square feet of apron space. This will ultimately vary based on the configuration, location, and layout of the new additional apron. With regards to general aviation fueling, there are 2 types of fuel at the airport currently. Jet A, which is used by turbine-powered aircraft, and 100 load lead, which is used by piston engine aircraft. Both fuel capacities are deemed sufficient. However, the jet fuel would require increased deliveries on a very regular basis during the busy summer months. As far as 100 low lead goes, we would recommend the introduction of self-service, which allows pilots to fuel their own aircraft and not have to use the full service providers on the airport. A unique consideration for Hyannis is the introduction of electric aircraft. Cape Air intends to operate electric aircraft within the next decade. And having those aircraft being based at this airport, there's a unique opportunity to become a hub or a leader for electric aircraft, as well as continuing the airport's reputation as being a good environmental steward. So this master plan will provide up to 6 itinerant parking positions for electric aircraft. While the exact requirements are not known, we want to call this space out and carve out plans for it on the airport layout plan for the future. Some other general aviation considerations, in addition to the previously mentioned self-service fuel, include things like an airport restaurant, which can be found at other similar airports. This can benefit both the public as well as the aviation side of the house. And one recommendation that's currently in the preliminary planning phase is enhancing the public interface to the east side with Mary Dunn Way. This will improve access to businesses and users on the east side of the airport. The last element is the airport support facility requirements. This includes the aircraft rescue and firefighting, as well as the airfield maintenance and snow removal equipment. All of these vehicles are in a shared facility that is used by both. The roof of this facility has previously been leaking and resulted in some water damage, which will need to be addressed in a future project. The roof replacement is currently underway. The plan will recommend to maintain and replace vehicles as needed and expand the building to house all vehicles ideally. However, only the snow removal portion of the building is actually eligible for federal funding, as well as the ARF. The airfield maintenance facility improvements or requirements would need to be funded by the airport. We hope that you found this video to be informative and encourage you to ask any questions or provide any comments to the email address shown. In addition, we encourage you to watch other videos in this series as well as visiting our project website, which is shown in the bio. Thank you for your interest and attention, and have a great day.